live on the final Cavs postgame edition of the Bullpen with Adam the Bull. It is a bitter, disappointing end to a season that had so many high hopes. The Cavs started the year going 15-0. They were a ridiculously good regular season team for most of the year. Yeah, there were a little bit of struggles towards the end, but they righted the ship. They seemed to be great going into the playoffs. They beat the crap out of the Miami Heat in the first round, the biggest point differential in NBA playoff history. And it looked like that this year, this Cavs team would be different. But in the end, they were not. Like the last 2 years, the Cavs fall on their face. Yes, they played a much better game tonight. There's no doubt about it. There was no complaints about effort. It wasn't it wasn't a beatdown like it was in Game 4. But again, they blew a big lead. They got off to a great start. They played so well in the first quarter. They were up 31-19. Second quarter got ugly there for a while. They still had a 6-point lead at halftime. It was 56-52, a 4-point lead at halftime. Then a terrible, absolutely dreadful third quarter that gave the Pacers the lead. But it went back and forth. It was a great fourth quarter for much of that time. Donovan Mitchell playing on fumes, finally hit some threes. He hits a bunch of big threes. The game's within one. Then the Pacers build up a lead up to 8 again. The Cavs make another run. They cut it to 6. Then Donovan Mitchell misses 3 free throws. It's hard to be critical of him, but yeah, because he was such a warrior to play in this game and play through injury. But he's got to make, he can't miss 3 free throws. And then Pacers don't score. Cavs come back. Donovan hits a 3 to cut it to 3. And it looked like in the closing minutes of the game, maybe the Cavs had a miracle left in them, but it wasn't meant to be. The Pacers went down the other end. They hit a 3, and that was it. The final score, 114-105. I can't think of a worse ending to a season for a team that had such high expectations. It's hard to believe. The Cavs went 64-18. 64-18, and it meant absolutely nothing. It meant absolutely nothing because in the end they couldn't get it done, and it wasn't. Again, what's so frustrating is that the Cavs coming into the series, the better team, they had the 2 best players in the series in Mitchell and Mobley. And, yeah, I know guys were banged up. Obviously, that's part of the deal. Darius was banged up. Donovan was banged up. But in the end, that's not an excuse. Guys got to play better. They were banged up in Game 3, and they won. They were banged up in this game, and they played great at times. But in the end, it wasn't enough. Live by the 3, die by the 3. The Cavs were just awful shooting threes in this game. They only had 1. They were a little better late, but they started they had 1 3 into the third quarter. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell, he hit 3 threes late after starting. I think he was 1 for 9. And he's 35 points, 9 rebounds in this one, and 4 steals, but not enough help. Evan Mobley had a great first half. They just, it seems like every time Evan Mobley's on the roll, they just stop going to him. He was doing his part, but they didn't get much else besides those 2 guys. 35 from Donovan, 24 from Evan Mobley, who was very efficient. Jarrett Allen had a good first half, but only took 6 shots and had 9 points. 11 for Darius, who was 0 of 6 from 3 and 4 of 16 from the field. Did have that great basket going to the hoop at one point where he made that layup to cut it to 1. Max Strus, who'd been arguably the second or at the very least third most reliable player, was awful in this game. He was 0 for 9 and 0 for 6 from 3. You just can't win a game when 3 of your 5 starters score 20 points between them. DeAndre Hunter had a solid game off the bench with 12 points and 5 boards, but Ty Jerome, he got benched in the first half. They played him in the second half. He gave him a little bit of spark when he first came in, 8 quick points. But then turnovers and Ty Jerome. Can we stop with the fucking whining to the officials? And I didn't like listen, I love our fans. I love all of you. We can't be chanting refs you suck. First of all, it's a lame chant. Everybody does it. We're better than that, Cleveland. We can't be doing that lame-ass chant. Number 2, they didn't lose this game or this series because of the refs. They lost it because, yes, some of it was injury, but in the end, they just didn't play well enough. A team that was historically good from 3 was absolutely pathetic from 3 in this series. Just embarrassingly bad. They blew 2 huge leads, up 17 in this game. They blew the 20-point lead in 7 with less than a minute to go in game 2. You take care of business in those games, it's a totally different story, but they didn't. Ty Jerome was absolute ass in this series. Isaac Okoro is useless. What is even the point of him being on the team? He brings nothing to the table. Nothing. He can't do anything offensively. He plays, good defense, but nothing special that's game-changing. Meanwhile, Indiana shot 43% from 3. They shot 50% from the field. The game was close because Cavs went to the free throw line a lot more. They didn't shoot it great, but they made 9 more free throws. But Indiana's big guns did a great job. Tyrese Halliburton was fantastic in this one, 31, 6, and 8. And all 5 of their starters scored in double digits. Nembhard had 18. They all shot well. Nesmith, he was only 5 of 14 and 1 of 7 for 3. But everybody else in their starting lineup shot well. In fact, everybody on the only person on the Pacers, Nesmith, was the only guy that did not shoot well. Siakam made a 20, Turner 3 of 7, Nembhard 7 of 11, Halliburton 10 of 15. Toppin contributed off the bench. Thomas Bryant had 9 on 4 of 6 shooting, but it was mostly their starting lineup led by Halliburton. Siakam was really good in this one. He had 21, 8, and 5. And the Cavs, all year long, they played such great team basketball, and that just went away in this series. It was iso ball like we've seen so often in the past. The Cavs had 10 assists. 10 assists on 35 field goals? That's fucking horrible. Pacers had 26 assists on 41 field goals. The Cavs they got out-rebounded by Indiana. Cavs were killing them on the glass early in the series. They got out-rebounded. And now the season's over, and, going forward, we'll have a lot of discussions about what, if anything, the Cavaliers can do. In terms of the roster, that's another discussion for maybe Thursday morning or next week. We'll look ahead with that. But I don't know that there's all that much they can do because they're in the second apron of the salary cap, and that makes it really restrictive in terms of what you can do with the roster. And we put up a poll. Let's see what the results are. Let me bring it up here. We put up a poll, and wow, we got a lot of people watching the podcast right now. Thank you, everybody that's watching. Let's see. Kyle says, truthfully, Bull, I can't imagine a worse job than being a sports analyst for Cleveland sports. I'm going to start including you in my prayers every day. Love you, man. Hey, thanks, Kyle. Well, listen, we're all down today. It sucks. It sucks. We thought this team was a championship team. And with the Celtics on the verge of being eliminated, it just sucks ass. And, I hate to say I told you so because I didn't tell you this. I thought the Cavs, I picked the Cavs in 5 in this series. What an idiot I was. But I've been saying for 2 years the regular season doesn't matter, and every year it's proven out. This year more than ever. The Cavs lost in the second round in 5 games. They won all these games in the regular season. It didn't mean shit. They finished way ahead of Indiana. Not even close. Didn't matter. The Knicks couldn't. It got brought up a million times. I mentioned it a number of times. You know, that the Knicks hadn't beaten a good team all playoffs. That didn't mean shit. The Cavs played hard in the regular season. Good for them. Give them some cookies. Other teams weren't playing hard, and they did in the playoffs when it matters. When it matters, these teams are playing. They're getting it done. Indiana got it done. They're going to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years in a row. The fucking Indiana Pacers going to the NBA Eastern Conference Finals 2 years in a row. And the Cavs have won a total of 2 games in the Eastern Conference semifinals. With all the winning. I'll say it again. I don't give a shit about Kenny Atkinson's Coach of the Year. I don't care that people embarrass themselves saying Ty Jerome should have won Sixth Man. He's not the Sixth Man of the Year. Sixth Man of the Year doesn't play like a bum like he played in the series. I don't care about any of the fucking awards. None of it meant shit. The Pacers were the Cavs have more talent. We didn't overrate the talent. Maybe on some of the bench guys. The Cavs have the 2 best players. And it didn't mean shit. The Pacers were the better team in this series. They played better. They played harder. They wanted it more. And meanwhile, our starting lineup, Jared Allen doesn't get the opportunity. Darius Garland was a mess the last couple of games. I know injury was a factor, but on the court, you expected to perform. It's that simple. Max Strus, again, did nothing. The bench sucks. Hunter was the only one that did anything because you got guys like Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro. In 3 years, these guys have never showed up in the playoffs. I don't know what made us think that this year would be different. But those guys were fucking pathetic. I didn't want them on the team. Just cut Okoro and Dean Wade. What is the point of having those guys on the team? Let's play. Why didn't we play some of the guys on the bench? Maybe would have scored some points. I don't understand. Dean Wade, I don't get it. Dean Wade in this series, this guy who, my man Mikey McNuggets, who knows way more basketball than I do, telling me valuable player. Dean Wade played 90 minutes in the series against the Pacers. And he scored 10 points. 10 points in 90 minutes. It's fucking pathetic. 10 points in that total for the playoffs. He played, 143 minutes and scored 15 points. I mean, this guy's supposed to be, I know he can rebound. I know he plays some defense. You played a guy 143 fucking minutes in the playoffs. He scored 15 points. How do you play a guy like that? And they kept running him out there every fucking game. The Coach of the Year. Stick that Coach of the Year up his ass. He won some Rudy Tomjanovich nicest Coach of the Year. I don't give a rat's ass about any of it. And people get so hot and bothered about this stuff. Let's look at another brilliant player. Isaac Okoro is always standing out there with that dopey look on his face. Isaac Okoro in this series played 83 minutes and scored 23 points. And most of them were in garbage time in Game 4 when they were getting their asses beat. He had 13 in that game. Useless. He's useless. I mean, you have 2 guys who can't score. How did we not see this? 2 guys in the top 90 rotation who can't score. And it's going to be the same roster again. This team lacks toughness. And I don't feel as good about saying that because I thought they played their asses off tonight. There's no doubt about it, but it wasn't good enough. I think Donovan Mitchell's tough. I think Evan Mobley. It's just not like Evan Mobley's a really good player, but he's not. He just doesn't take over games. The Cavs need him to take over, and he just becomes a bystander too much on offense. And Darius Garland, like the guy gets hurt all the time. He hasn't played great, in the playoffs. And the rest of the guys are, there's just nothing special. And maybe we did overrate the talent a little much. I don't know. I want to read some fan comments. We got so many because we have a record number of people watching right now. By the way, there's so many of you in here. I got to ask you all a favor. Please, if you haven't done so already, right underneath the screen to this podcast, you'll see it says Cavs lose series to Pacers in shocking upset, Game 5 instant reaction. And then right under that, in the middle of that, it says the subscribe button. Please, if you have not done it before, please hit the subscribe button. If you're new, even if you're a Pacers fan, you deserve to talk shit, Pacers fans. I got to give it to you. You people have done it, and I appreciate it. We're over 1,000 live views right now, and I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all, and even the Pacer fans, and I wish you the best of luck the rest of the season. Okay, let me see if I can read some of these. We got so many. I'm going to try to read some. Daryl says, Raging Bull. I don't even feel like I'm raging. I'm so exasperated. This team has worn me out. I'm pissed, and I'm sad. And look at that shit. Dean Wade, Isaac Cora combined for 33 points in the series. The guys, they played like 180-something minutes, 170-something minutes between them. They scored 33 fucking points. Dan says, hello, darkness, my old friend. Yeah. Mike J, get Giannis. John Morant. How are they going to get these guys? They got no draft picks. They're on the second apron. They can't get any of these guys. Rob says, when you done, Bull, tell us how you really feel. What? Bring back LeBron. I mean, everybody's getting desperate now. We're all desperate because there's no easy answer. They're not getting Giannis. How the hell are they going to get Giannis? If Milwaukee trades Giannis, they're starting over. They're going to want draft picks. Not Jared Allen. David says, Bull, how long do we keep Mitchell? Mitchell's not the problem. It's the other guys that are not tough enough. That's it. This is a soft basketball team. They're not mentally tough. They're not physically tough overall. They're not. And that's why they're in this position right now. That's why they're here once again with a pathetic early exit from the playoffs. That's what's happened. I want to see the poll results. Guys, how do I see the poll results? Why can't I find them? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I got it. All right. And it's I get it. Part of it's, in the moment. I just want to read this from Wayne. Wayne says, Bull, I knew you were in for a letdown when you said you couldn't wait for the playoffs to start. Be careful what you ask for. Well, all right, I guess so. You're right. I couldn't wait for them to start. I was so excited. I was so excited about the playoffs starting. Look what happens. We put up a poll here. Do you care about the NBA regular season next year? And obviously in the moment, I'm sure as we get to the season next year, maybe more people change their mind. But as of now, 79% of you, we've had the poll for 20 minutes. We've had about 700 votes. 79% of you say no. You don't care about the regular season next year. It's going to be so hard. The Cavs could go 82-0 next year, And I'm going to assume they're going to lose in the playoffs. How could you think anything else? And it's just, it sucks. It really sucks. Nathan says NBA regular season is trash. Pranav says, why do you say the NBA regular season is meaningless as a negative, but laud the unpredictability of the NBA MLB playoffs instead of calling it the same in both sports? The MLB playoff regular season is not meaningless. You have to be very good to make the playoffs. Only 6 teams make it. In the NBA, 10 teams make it in each conference. You don't have to be good to make the playoffs. You have to be mediocre. In Major League Baseball, you have to be good. Yes, it's kind of random when you get to the playoffs. But you got to earn it. The games matter. You got to win a lot of games to get in. In the NBA, you just have to not be awful. Speaking of baseball, Guardians with another shutout tonight. Good game by Logan Allen. Guardians win 2-0. And Logan Allen went 6 shutout innings. Gave up just 3 hits and a walk, 6 strikeouts. Matt Festa, Hunter Gaddis, and Emmanuel Clase finished it up. Clase's back on track, had a couple of strikeouts, no base runners. Not much offense from the Guardians, but enough. Jose Ramirez hit his 7th home run. He had 2 hits in the game. Stephen Kwan had 2 hits. So there you go. Will Brennan was in the lineup again. He went 0 for 2, but he's been in the lineup the last 2 nights. All right. Let's see. Earl says this team was outcoached and outplayed. You're right. Debbie says, ridiculous. We were fooled. It's so bad I had to turn the Weather Channel on. Jay-Z, Evan Mobley, Defensive Player of the Year, wandering around the wing on a team shooting 20% from 3. The Pacers are going to run the Knicks to death, and they will be all injured by Game 3. So, no, you know why? And I don't know who's going to win that. So, first of all, the Knicks haven't won yet, although they probably will, especially with the Tatum injury. I'll say this, though, and I don't know who's going to win. I actually think the Knicks will beat the Pacers, but that'll be a good series because there's toughness. See, unlike the Pacers were able to play tough against the Cavs, it's going to be tougher to play tough against the Knicks. The Knicks are tough. We've seen it before. They're not a bunch of soft asses like the Cavs. The Cavs have a lot of likable guys. It's hard to be anti-anybody on the Cavs. They're nice guys. They're good players. Some of them are great players. But overall, they're soft. It is the point. People bringing up the Coach of the Year. I always get mad about the Kevin Stefanski Coach of the Year. In the last, 5 years, the Cavs have a Coach of the Year, and the Browns have 2 Coaches of the Year. And the Browns have won 1 playoff game in those 2 years, and the Cavs have won 1 playoff series in their year, and just an embarrassing second-round loss. I just don't care about any of those things. That's why we spend so much time talking about that shit, and it doesn't matter. Yeah, gun to head. Miles Turner was all over Jared Allen. Jared Allen just completely disappeared in the second half. Completely. He was missing in action. Sucks. All right, folks. I'm going to wrap it up there. I really appreciate everybody joining me. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button and join me. Obviously, we won't have any post games for a while. The next post game will be the Browns. That's the next time I'll do a post game show. Unless something really weird happens with the Guardians. I'll have Guardians post game in the playoffs, assuming they get there, which I think they will. And I'll be on after all the Browns games. Next podcast will be Thursday morning. Dustin will join me Thursday morning. We'll talk about the Browns' schedule because the schedule release comes out Wednesday night. And we'll get his thoughts on the disappointing end of the season for the Cavs. Thank you all for being with me for all these games. I really appreciate it. I love you all. I do appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't read more chat comments, but when there's this many people in here, it's hard. They're going so fast. It's hard to keep it straight. But I do really appreciate it. I'm trying to read as many as I can. Thank you, Debbie. The final poll results, 77% of you say you don't care about the NBA regular season next year. It's gonna be so hard to watch the Cavs in the regular season next year and get excited. It's gonna be emotionless. I'm gonna be watching it because I have to, and it's gonna be emotionless, and it's gonna suck. Thanks to Max and Z for joining me and producing the show today. I'll be on UCSS tomorrow. I'll be on Betting Weekly Hardball tomorrow, live at 2 o'clock here, part of Bet Rivers. Check out the Bet Rivers app if you're not using it already. Check it out and get in the mix there. There's some great deals going on. I love you all. Have a great night. Let's go Guardians. Let's go Browns. I'll see you all next time in the bullpen. Thank you, Chris. See ya.